is Michelle with Pink and Maine. Thanks for joining me today. I'm super excited to be making some cards with our January 2021 Crafty Courtyard kit, all occasion. For our first card, we are going to use the postcard and just make kind of a fun fold, a little bit different card. I have an A2 size card and I've just folded the front piece of the card back at the halfway. So got that, and then I've cut out a bunch of pieces of the pattern paper from the kit. These are beautiful, gorgeous papers. Maybe I've said this before, this is one of my favorite paper pads that we've done. Pretty. So this is just the postcard that I've cut down. I've layered it with some orange cardstock from the kit. So I'm going to glue that down. And now I'm going to put the pattern papers on the different parts of our card base. For the inside of the card, since I've put this bright pink polka dot, it's a little difficult to write a message to the recipient. So I've cut out just a piece of white cardstock that I'll glue down. And then we have a place to write a message on the inside. Okay, so we have our card fully decorated. And you don't necessarily have to cover these parts with pattern paper, but I thought it would be cute because you can kind of see them there. So for the last part of the card, we're going to glue down the postcard piece just on half of this flap right here. So it still kind of opens up like a card, but it's got a little extra something back there. Just a different little folding card. So here we have our little fun folding card. Just kind of opens up like an accordion. This is something different and cute. And I've used just that postcard on the front. Matches all the pattern papers. And I'm just going to embellish it with some of our glitter enamel dots from the kit. And there we have our first card. Sweet. For our next card, I've got an A2 size card base. It opens like so. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 folded. I've cut down with our layered rectangle dies a panel that is 4 by 5 1/4. So it just leaves a nice white border around the edge of the card and this green cardstock. And I've taken, I hope you can see the texture there. I've run this through with the wide stripe embossing folder that's in the kit, and I get this really nice textured stripe to the paper. So that's really fun. And this card is just sweet and simple. I'm just using a highlight of the pattern papers. I've cut a stitch circle and a scallop circle. I've stamped congratulations, which is part of the stamp set in the kit. And I've cut it out with that rounded long rectangle die that's in the dies in the kit. And we're just gonna put that right there. So the first thing I'm gonna do is glue the circles together because I'm gonna cut off a little part of it to kind of go off the edge of the card. So once I have that on there like I want it, I'm just gonna flip it over and cut the extra part of that scallop circle off. And now we can adhere this piece to the card. When I flip it over, I've got a different look of that stripe. So you could run that embossing folder through, and you can use either side. You can get the wide stripes raised up, or when you flip it over, you've got narrow stripes that are raised up. So it's really cool. And for our sentiment, I have just used some foam adhesive on the back to raise it up, give it some more dimension. And just a little tip, as you can see, this is just the negative part of my foam dots that I've already used the dots out of. Never throw this away. This is good adhesive here. So I just cut that down to the size I need and use that on the back. Place that down like so, and we just have a super simple, sweet card. It says congratulations. And of course, I'm just going to jazz it up just a bit with some glitter enamel dots. And there we have our second card. For our next card, we're going to use an A2 size top folding card. I've cut out with our layered rectangle dies a piece of that kind of shimmery lilac or lavender cardstock that's in the kit, and I'm going to glue that down to the card. I've cut out a slightly smaller rectangle in white, and I'm going to layer that. Now I've got a little strip of that rainbow stripe that's in the paper pack, and I'm gonna line that down the side of the white piece. So there we have the start of our card. And what I've done is I've cut out of each color of the cardstock that's in the kit, I've cut out the word thanks with the thanks die that's in the dies in the kit. And we're just gonna layer them down the card like in a rainbow. And here is how the card came out. I love the look of that. Just the rainbow colors going down. It's simple, but yet it gives a nice impact. And I'm just gonna put a couple little enamel dots to finish it off. And there we go. That's our next card. Okay, so here is our pieces for our next card. Okay, so we have a top folding A2 size card, and I've just layered a piece on here with that teal kind of dotted Swiss, that's what it's called, Swiss dots or dotted Swiss cardstock that's in the kit. And I've cut a strip of the dark pink cardstock to go down the middle. Now I've cut a slightly narrower strip of this flowered piece of paper from the pattern paper pack, and we're going to put that in the middle. And then I've cut just a 1/4 inch strip of the green cardstock just to go down one side to add some interest. And there's our card base. It's just simple and pretty. So I've got my foam dots, and I stamped one of the sentiments from the stamp set on this little die cut piece that this die is part of the part of the kit as well. And it says, there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. So I'm going to put some foam dots on the back of this. So there is the card. I just kind of offset this sentiment up here to the side at the top. And I've got some glitter enamel dots to embellish. And I just used the green ones this time, just to kind of make them pop with that one green color. And there is our card. Okay, for our next card, we're going to use that sentiment that says, sending hugs, but wishing for a real one soon. I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of this to pop it up. But I'm going to be cutting one end of this off because I want it to kind of go off the side of the card. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Okay, now let's start to assemble the card. I've got another top folding A2 size card, and first I'm going to layer down a piece of this really pretty buttery yellow cardstock. Our next layering piece is just this really pretty floral. It's got oranges and yellows, a little bit of pink mixed in with that purple and teal. So now to break up the flowers, I have a piece of the lavender stripe that I'm going to layer at the bottom. To break up or just kind of tie those two together nicely, we're going to put a little border. So here is our last card. Not our last card, just another card. We still have 2 more to go. It needs enamel dots. I love these glitter enamel dots. Add them to everything. I just love the finishing touch they give. There we go. Just another simple but sweet card. Okay, for our next card, we have these pieces cut out to go through. I have another top folding A2 size card. And these cards this time are not heavy with techniques and such. They're pretty much based around the dies, the stamps, the paper pad. I wanted to highlight the prettiness of the paper pad, so that's kind of what all these cards are about. So I have a teal piece of that dotted paper that we're going to put on to our card base. Okay, so I've cut a strip of that yellow cardstock and then a slightly thinner strip of this pink that has the yellow flowers and the little triangle dot pattern. It's really cute. And we're going to glue these down to the card. So there we have our card base. From the dies, I've cut 2 of these pieces. This is from the die that's in the kit, and I'm gonna layer them together. I just put the orange, I'm just gonna offset it a little bit at the bottom, and it just helps this white piece kind of pop off the card a little bit more and also adds a little bit more color. Now this stamp here, I hope you're doing well. That is from the little extra stamp set that you got in the January kit, that extra little gift stamp set. And then I cut out the word hello from the dies in the kit. So there, I just kind of centered that on the card, and then I'm going to glue down the word hello. Oh, there, I love it. It's another super sweet and simple card. Hello, I hope you're doing well. And I'm gonna add, what am I gonna add? I'm gonna add glitter enamel dots. There we go. There's another card. And we do have extras of these glitter enamel dots. So if you like to hoard them like I do, because you could use them on all different kinds of things, we do have those sold separately, as well as the paper pads. So here's all the parts and pieces for our final card. The first thing I'm gonna do is glue down. I cut out that rectangle piece from the die set that's in the kit, as well as the word thanks, and I'm gonna glue it down here and cut the edge off because I want it to go off the front of the card again, and then we'll get into what makes up this fun card. Okay, so we'll set our sentiment piece aside for now. And we're gonna make a shaker card, but we're gonna make a shaker card different than I have made them in videos in the past. Show you a little different way to make them. Maybe you think it's simpler, maybe not, but it's another fun way to make a shaker card. So let's get the parts and pieces for this card here. And not only is it gonna be a shaker card, but it's gonna have an extra. You go, whoa, what's all that paper? Okay, let's get down to the base of the card first. So I have two A2 size card bases, and you see the open ends go together. We're going to glue the backs of them together so that the card opens like so. Okay, so we'll do that first. I'm gonna kind of gently lay them together, and then I like to stand it on the table, get them nice and even, and then I press them together. That way I know I'm getting them straight. Okay, so now we have our card base. If you'll notice on one of the cards, before you glue it together, of course, you want to cut out a shape in the front of it. So I've done the die that's in the kit here, and I just placed it, kind of centered it, you know, with, it's a little bit high, but centered, you know, side to side in the front of the card. And that's gonna be our window. On the inside of the card here, I wanna decorate, because you're gonna see that through the window. So I have these two layering pieces, the orange cardstock with the orange stripe on top, that I'm gonna put right here on the inside, so that when you close it, you see that orange stripe through the opening. Okay, so now we have completely white on the inside of the card. We fold one side down, we've got it decorated here. I wanted to decorate this side as well. So to decorate the inside, I've cut that die. So you cut the panel first that's gonna fit inside here, and then I help to use the card as a template of where to put the die to cut it out of the same place. Okay, so there we have the inside decorated. So we've got our orange stripe here, we've got this orange with the flowers. On this side, we're gonna close the card and decorate the front. And so this is where the shaker part is going to come in. So I've got our sequins, and they're just in this little cello bag that they come in. I took the Pink and Main insert card out of here and left all the sequins in the bag. And we're gonna use the bag as like our window, our little acetate window. So we're gonna glue this down to the front of the card. And ideally, I'm trying to get all the sequins into the center as much as possible for right now, just for gluing down purposes. You could also glue this on the inside and then cover it up. And once again, I cut two layering pieces, and then I lined them up with the opening on the front of the card, and that's where I knew I had to put the die. I taped it down and then ran it through the die cut machine. So let's glue these together and then put them on the card. Okay, and then now we're gonna glue this down to the front of the card, and you see we have that little shaker window there. Okay, so here's our shaker card. You can see they still shake in there, and it doesn't add as much bulk as when you make it with the foam tape that you have to pop up and create that pocket. And you can see it was super simple and easy. And I think the hardest part was die cutting the paper in the same spot, but it's just a matter of lining that up as you do it and taping your die down where you need to and running it through. And with our dies, you can run 2 sheets of paper through at the same time, depending on the thickness, but typically 2 sheets of paper you can cut at the same time. So that's what I did. And that made cutting out the front part easy because I didn't have to measure twice. I cut 2 at the same time. Oh, I'm gonna have to make more of these. And then you open it up. You've got the opening on the inside, which you can see through. You open this side of your card. You've got plenty of space for sentiments, messages. This was a lot of fun. I hope you'll make some of these as well. Try it out. So now we're gonna add our sentiment, the thanks down here at the bottom. And of course, I think I have to add just a little bit more bling and use some of our glitter enamel dots. And there we go. We have fun little shaker card without using any foam to add a lot of dimension to the card. Got that extra fold. Think of the fun things you could do with that. And it was pretty simple and easy. Thanks again for joining me today as I created 7 fun cards with the January 21 Crafty Courtyard kit themed all occasion. I just know you're gonna open up your kit, look at these beautiful colors, and create tons of wonderful greeting cards yourself. I hope you love this kit as much as I do. And as of taping this video right now, we still have a handful of these kits left in our past kits category. So you can grab one for yourself. And until next time, my friends, keep living the creative life.